For the next talk, I want to bring on Itai to tell you about how we get to give allowances to agents. So please give Itai a big round of applause.
Sir. Hey everyone, can you hear me okay? Okay, first, that was an awesome presentation from Cello. We should integrate this concept into Dynamic for recovery. So that's actually really cool. But with that, let's actually chat about agents with allowances. Okay, so hey everyone, I'm Itai again from Dynamic, and today we'll talk about agents with allowances. So table of contents, just like any other presentation I get. We'll do a quick intro. We'll talk about a secret announcement that we're making today. We'll talk about some options for AI agents, and we'll talk about what's next. So very quick overview of why you're stuck with me for the next 19 minutes. So I'm the co-founder of a company called Dynamic. We pretty much provide embedded wallet tools. So in short, really a single SDK for every wallet transaction or every wallet interaction. And those can be very Web3 native. And those can be very Web 2 abstracted experience. They can be kind of very in-your-face UI kind of interfaces, or they can be fully headless and fully abstracted away. Right? So that is what we do in a nutshell. You can link multiple wallets together. You can do everything that you ever would wish to do with wallets across EVM. And God forbid that you said this in an EVM conference, non-EVM chains as well. But that's really what we do. We're just context about the company. I'm one of the co-founders. We started in end of 2021, beginning of 2022. We raised about $21 million, mostly from A16Z, Founders Fund, First Round Capital, and others. And we have a bunch of cool people working on the team. So just to make sure it's clear, Dynamic's way more than just embedded wallets. We do pretty much anything that has to do with user management, right? So you log in, you can link multiple wallets to the same account. You can collect information, all that type of stuff we do. And originally, until today, we have focused on seamless human to onboarding, right? So experiences for humans to log in, to abstract crypto away from them, and kind of not think about it at all, right? And you could see this in action today if you go to sites like Magic Eden and you log in with either Web3 login or Web2 login. That's all powered by Dynamic. You can see it on, so very Web3 native experiences. You can see it on experiences that abstract away crypto. So if you go to Arena, you log in with Twitter and you're pretty much done. You have a wallet. You can see this on some upcoming kind of global wallet partners where you can use a wallet across an entire ecosystem with incredible partners like Sofon and Say and Eclipse and others. But really Dynamic can be very, very flexible. Right? We work with a bunch of folks across the entire industry, anywhere from Lamborghini to Berachain to Starknet. It's, again, live on EVM and non-EVM chains. I know it's an EVM conference, so let's pretend that other slide didn't exist. But with that, let's actually stop shilling Dynamic for a bit and let's talk agents, right? So AI agents are going to take over, right? We'll have these agents perform these tasks for us and make our life a little bit easier, right? Whether it's to buy things, is to wait in queue for us for Taylor Swift tickets, which I really hope I wasn't the only one, or do anything of that sort, agents will kind of do it for us. So rather than do the task ourselves, we will tell an agent, hey, please complete, please buy a plane ticket for me, please plan my vacation, and the agent should have some sort of ability to do that, right? So it's only natural that we give them wallets, not just collect information from us, but actually let them spend money on our behalf, right? And agents will kind of work in two ways in that sense. The first one is kind of as an quote unquote agent of us, right? I will give an agent a task. That agent would complete the task. They would get some sort of allocation of funds, and then they will be able to complete the task, pay for it, and report back to me. And the second type of agent is a very autonomous agent. Means it wakes up every morning, it completes tasks, it pays, it trades, it does whatever, and maybe reports back to me. So slight nuance there, and we'll see both. But the challenge is that you really have to give agents really fine-grained permissions, right? So if think about it, if you go to ChatGPT and you write something and it gives you the wrong answer, that's fine. It's the wrong information. Mistakes can happen. But if you give an agent money and it spends it on the wrong thing, or it spends 10x more than you expected, that's a really big problem, right? So permissions and granularity really, really matters. So before we chat AI agents, we need to chat about how we manage keys for AI agents, right? How we give an AI agent partial permissions to do some things without actually creating kind of the ability for them to make mistakes. And so at Dynamic, we really needed to rethink how we do key management for agents in order to actually execute on this, right? The way we had it set up did not work for this type of use case. So today we're actually announcing a full new key management platform, and hopefully everyone's excited like me, but we'll see, which is kind of a threshold signature-based MPC key management system, which allows us to do really fine-grained things with giving agents shares to take tasks and defining rule engines for what they can and can't do. So we'll talk about that very quickly, and then we'll talk about how agents use this. So very quickly, who has heard of TSS MPC? Okay, who's heard of MPC in general? Okay, great. So MPC really means multi-party computation, meaning we kind of join together and do some sort of calculation in order to get a result. TSS MPC, so threshold signatures, allows us to do this calculation without ever sharing our information. So rather than all of us getting a single key and kind of breaking it down, each one gets a key share independently. And without ever having the key reconstructed, you can create kind of a signature that like a wallet signed, right? So it's a much more secure method of doing this, where someone can get share A, someone else can get share B, and you can do it without actually ever exposing a private key. In fact, the private key never exists, right? And so it's really important for a bunch of use cases, but one of them is this concept of agents with permissions. So very quickly, a quick demo of what we do. So essentially, you can create these really sophisticated flows of 2 shares, 3 shares, 4 shares, 5 shares, etc., and decide on the threshold of those. How many shares need to be there in order to sign a transaction, right? Do I need to be there in the agent? Do I need to be there in the server, etc.? So all of this, we kind of allow at the kind of very bare bones, close to the metal infrastructure level, on which we can build these more comprehensive solutions. You can do more sophisticated things like resharing. So I start with, I have a wallet, I have 1 share, a server has a 2nd share. I can reshare and give an agent 2 out of 3 shares. So I can start doing really sophisticated things. And in order to do everything we talked about, we actually have to start with getting the key management right. So this is actually coming live in the next couple of weeks. And we'll talk very quickly about the solution. So it's very, very flexible as a solution. It's non-custodial. It can support a myriad of these kind of key management systems, 2 of 2, 2 of 3, 3 of 5, has this built-in rule engine, which will come in handy. It works across EVM, Solana, Bitcoin, Cosmos, etc. It leverages TEs for stuff, and it's really, really fast, right? And that's really important for agents. So just so folks know, what that means is we can give these folks limited shares. But before that, just quickly focusing on how this changes our human-focused offering. And it's weird to kind of talk about human offering and agent offering, but here we are. So we have a few options for wallets for humans, right? So you logged in with an email, you logged in with Gmail, and at that point, you can have a 2 out of 2. So me, the logged in user, has a share, and Dynamic at the server side stores a share. You can have more sophisticated stuff with me, the end user, has 2 shares, and Dynamic has 1. So if I, in a 2 out of 3, I can essentially sign things without Dynamic being involved. You can have even more sophisticated things, and I don't know if it's easy or hard to see, but with recovery being completely independent of the Dynamic system. So these are all examples for a very, very flexible key management and wallet management system, which is crucial to get AI agents right. So that is the thing we started focusing on, getting the basics of key management right in order to start doing fancy stuff. And we'll get to those in a second. So just as an FYI, it's rolling out in the next couple of weeks. If you want access to this, we have a booth out there. Come find us. We will talk about it until you get bored, but come find us. But very quickly now, moving to AI agents. Now we can talk about this, right? So not sure if you heard, AI agents are the rage, right? They do some weird things like meme trading and bot trading and things like that, but they also are useful for very day-to-day activities. Again, book a trip, monitor things on my behalf, right? Take action on my behalf, renew a license on my behalf. All these types of experiences that we manually do today that technically we should be able to delegate and give agents money, information, complete a task on our behalf, right? And so there are lots of cool frameworks out there. I'm not going to focus on them. I just want to focus on the wallet part, right? So we talked about this. There are really two types of ways to work with agents, right? Semi-autonomous and fully autonomous. So let's start with human in the loop, semi-autonomous. So these are the use cases of trading stocks, booking flights, etc. You need this rule engine oversight, and it has some sort of control autonomy. So within a confined set of rules, it can do some stuff. And the way that works is the following. So let's walk through this example. So a user goes to an AI travel website, right? A travel agent website. They define some sort of parameters on the trip, as well as a budget, or I as a user define that. The agent executes on those. The policy engine sits on the dynamic share, on the server share, and ensures that signing cannot happen without that server share. So an agent gets, and we'll see this in the next screen, an agent gets delegated some sort of user share, but they cannot sign without the agent share, right? So you can start doing this with wallets, but technically you should also be able to do this with identity, right? So I logged in. Me as a human have delegated my passport information, similar to the Cell presentation that was just here, which was really, really cool and relevant. I have delegated some sort of information to the agent. They can act upon it on my behalf and then report back to me with the results, right? And me, at the end of this, I go on vacation and I think about how weird this place is with AI agents and humans at the same time, right? So the way that works is I, as a user, get a share, right? MPC model means shares, right? I, as a user, gets a share. There's a server share, and I can turn from a 2 of 2 to a 2 of 3, and generate an additional share to give to an agent. Then can bind some sort of policy permissions on what that can do, right? So again, I essentially if I had a wallet, take the wallet, give a credit card, but define what's in that credit card and what can happen, or issue a virtual credit card for all intents and purposes. The agent takes care of what it is they want to take care of and kind of reports back to me with the results, right? So that is a human in the loop model. There's also a second model, which is no human in the loop, right? In this model, the entire concept of interfaces kind of goes away, right? The idea is that an agent wakes up in the morning and can just accomplish tasks. And the flow is the following. So an agent wakes up in the morning, they have their coffee, and then they kind of go in and server side only, kind of get some sort of key from the server with permissions. They execute on everything with no interfaces, just run on top of things, execute, and report back with the result. Again, the end of this is I go on vacation and I think about the weirdness of this world. But essentially, in this scenario, we have full server-side wallets, very low-level server-side wallets that allow you to do this without any interfaces at all, right? The architecture of this is an AI agent wakes up in the morning, asks the dynamic system for a temporary wallet. The dynamic system issues that. Again, it doesn't send a share, but it sends the logic to create a share for the agent on their end, right? They actually do the calculation, sign whatever messages they want to sign within the confines of rule engines and policy engines, and they can move forward, right? So in this instance, you actually have an entire no human in the loop type interaction. So again, two types of things. No human in the loop, where it's just server to server, machine to machine type interactions with wallets, or human in the loop, where a human has some sort of interface, delegation, and then end of delegation. So we'll likely see a combination of both of them, right? So in both of those ideas, the following, which is pretty straightforward, which is we will do less work. Right? The idea is that we need to do less and less work. We get to relax a little bit more and, again, reflect on the weirdness of agents doing stuff on our behalf, right? But one more thing, and one more really cool thing that will happen in the next couple of weeks is you can start expanding this with, who's heard of 7702? Okay, perfect. So for those that don't know, and this is a shameless plug around kind of an Ethereum thing that's rolling out. In the next couple of weeks, Ethereum's rolling out the Petra update. That's going to have 7702 support. That inherently means that you can delegate an EOA account or wallet to some sort of smart contract. So you can do things like Gasless. So if you log in with MetaMask, you can still do Gasless type interactions, right? Or a Coinbase, etc. This is the next part of that solution. So an agent interacts on our behalf. Can we also abstract away gas from them, right? And something like 7702 that will come in will let us do that. So with that, let's summarize what we talked about. So we gave an overview of why AI agents are cool, right? We talked about this new TSS MPC solution. And again, AI agents are a part of it. You can use it for multiple types of solutions. It's really, really cool. We want to see it. Did that work? Yeah? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Checking, yeah? Okay, whoa. Okay, wow. If you want to see a demo of it, we're around. We're happy to show you. Oh, it's me? I'm the problem? It's me? Reference? Yeah, no. Who got that? No? Oh my God, not enough people. Thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, it's a Taylor Swift reference. Come on. Okay, so we talked about this TSS MPC offering. It can do a bunch of things. Whomever is a Taylor Swift fan can see a demo. Otherwise, don't talk to me. But besides that, we have these two paths for using these agents. And we talked about humans doing less things. So I will end with the following. We're in the business of giving people tools to create these innovative ideas, right? So I gave some examples of using AI agents for travel, for trading, etc. But the goal for us is actually to provide low-level tools that let people come up with ideas we did not think about, right? If next year's presentation I present and I show all the cool travel agent tools that have been developed, I'll be really sad, right? So my ask, kind of leaving you with this, is my ask is to actually rethink a lot of how agents can be used and come chat with us about different ways to actually use AI agents in ways we haven't thought about. Right? And our goal at Dynamic is to give you tools to do this in a way that's very, very flexible, right? Surprise us with some of these ideas. We are going to try to get out of your way and give you more powerful and secure tools to manage money and to manage kind of very sensitive identity type interactions while you, the collective you, think about some of the cool ideas for next year, 2, and 5. And with that, thank you.